Good day, viewers, and welcome to the Polity Roundtable. And of course, on the Polity Roundtable today, I caught a big fish. I have with me in the Polity Studio Dr. Barrister Olumuyiwa Adu. Good to see you, sir. It's Polity Talk Show, and of course, my name, your anchor, is Steve Oviri. Dr. Adu, Nigeria has have a very beautiful experience, a seamless transition from one democracy to another. The President Muhammadu Buhari administration has just handed over to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Your view on the seamless transition?
Yeah, it's an achievement to the credit of the topic of democracy in Nigeria, no doubt about that. For the mere fact that we were able to transit from one civilian government to another without issues, and even if at all there were misunderstanding and disagreement on some of the aspects of the elections, people were matured enough to render them subjects of litigation in the courts. But the important thing is that the government is in place, and even if there's anything that is left to be resolved, it has been taken to court. And so it is a credit to Nigeria as a country.
Yes, you are just tuning in. It's the Polity Roundtable, and I have as my guest Dr. Olumuyiwa Adu, a great son of Akure Kingdom. Dr. Adu, you have just moved from PDP to APC, the ruling All Progressives Congress. What advice would you have for the new administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
We can't, there's no how we can beat our chest about the state of the nation, that there is any aspect of our socio-economic and political domain that can be deemed to attract any form of accolade. The important thing is that something that should be running our minds is the fact that we are not well placed as a country. The foundation of the country is not strong enough structurally, even if when you look at it from a geographical aspect of it, which of course is the bedrock, and of course translates to imbalances in the area of socio-economic and political aspects of our existence as nations within this country. I can tell you, when you look at the structure, which of course determines a lot of things, it's what determines the allocation of resources, it's what determines even our geographical relevance, as well as the legislative processes in our assemblies, both in the upper and the lower chambers. And that's why we can't get it right except that structure is properly reviewed and the right thing done. And I will tell you what I'm talking about in a very simple way. You can imagine a country where we have Abuja as the center, and anything above Abuja should be deemed north, while anything below Abuja should be deemed south. But right now in Nigeria, the northern part of the country, that is anything above Abuja, is divided into two, while the southern part was divided into four. And even the southern part, they call one of the geopolitical zones not central. And it is very obvious that that's not where you could call north central. It's not in the north, and it's not even at the center of the north. So, and these are the things that actually determine the allocation of resources in this country. They also determine the kind of, the strength in terms of where you come from, of the people that are actually representing the people in the National Assembly. And under that circumstances, people that are not even Northerners see themselves as Northerners today. And for that singular reason, we can have balanced legislative process in the National Assembly. And even when somebody comes with a very good bill that can take the country forward, you bring sentiments of geography, you bring sentiments of politics, and of course, it's why we are running to a lot of beaches, where people cannot come out and say the truth that can move the country forward. So that's an area I want the president to look into. And I'm happy to a very great extent is addressing some economic issues. And I know with the way it's going, and God, being part of the people moving the affairs of the country and the government at large, I'm sure we'll get to the promised land.
Dr. Adu, you are a lawyer. there has been this argument from different angles that there might not have been something so constitutional about the way the presidency has relieved Governor Emefiele of his position as CBN governor. Do you think this presidency has been vindictive, has been argued in some quarters?
Yeah, when you look at what happened in recent time in the Central Bank of Nigeria, I wonder why people failed to even ask first why Emefiele should be in the office, and at the same time having that rumor against him that he was contesting as a candidate in one of the political parties. That's number one. We should be able to ask ourselves questions. A person that is this central bank governor being accused or deemed to be vying to contest the presidential election in this country. That's number one. And number two, yes, I happen to be one of those who actually said, if what he did then in terms of change of currency is a thing that will bring the people to be the one determining who actually rule them, then let it be. But unfortunately, along the line, I still be corrected that I don't think that thing was actually done in good faith.
The cashless policy.
Yes, it wasn't done in good faith. Not done in good faith in the sense that why that time? And if you must, try to change the currency, I wonder why in a country where you have the currencies there and you want to change from old to new one, that shouldn't take you more than 2-3 months to withdraw the old ones in circulation and get the new ones out. At the beginning of the changing of the currencies, I personally saw in a ceremony where some guys brought in these new packets of currencies and were selling to people at very high prices. And people get to ATM, they couldn't find these currencies. And a lot of flaws in the process. But again, he's still the central bank. He was still the central bank of Nigeria till he was arrested. What happened to the new currency? We can't find it. So what happened?
Now,
yeah, no, I'm even coming to that. If you're talking about why he was suspended, for God's sake, there is no individual that occupies public position, irrespective of that law that is in existence to protect you, that will allow the government of that country to leave you and begin and continue to do what is wrong. For every law, there are exceptions. Yeah. So even though I know before the president took that decision, he must have done some legal advices. But if for any reason whatsoever, somebody in that capacity that was actually in that position through the acts of any legislative processes, I don't think that person can remain there forever, even when he's suspected to be doing something wrong. Yeah. So that's my own thinking about that.
Well, I have been able to have the opportunity of talking to a great son of Akure Kingdom, Dr. Barrister Olumuyiwa Adu, and of course, he's no doubt a great believer in the Nigerian project, as you can see from all that he has been able to say so far, and about the Bola Tinubu administration that has just come into power. I want to appreciate everyone that has taken their time to watch the Politics Talk Show with Dr. Barrister Olumuyiwa Adu. Of course, my name is Steve Mviri, and of course, I have behind the camera my videographer, Awutu Latimina. Doctor, I hope when we choose to reach out to you again, you'll give us this opportunity.
I always be right.
Thank you so much, sir.